Hello crafty friends, welcome to today's video. This is the last video in our month of heat embossing, but don't worry, we will repeatedly return to this technique. So yesterday I made this card and I recorded it, and then when I came to edit it, the whole thing was out of focus, so I couldn't share it with you. So I'm going to remake this card today. I'll talk you through the basic steps and then show you some of the detail. For my card blank, I've got a 5x7" card blank, and I chose a large one because I'm going to make some largish Christmas trees. I'm using hammered textured white card because it's got that luxurious feel, but it's also reminiscent of snow, which I think goes well with Christmas. I'm using the same hammered textured white card to add a panel to the front of my card blank. I just like having a little border all the way around, but you could definitely just work on the front of a card and exclude the panel if you liked. For this snowy bank that the trees are sitting on, I took another piece of hammered textured white card, covered it in embossing ink, sprinkled over some Nouveau glitter embossing powder in shimmering pearl, I think it was, and then I heated it with my heat tool, and then I used this wavy border die to die cut it. It's got a solid line and then some little dots. It just adds a little bit of something. I stuck it in the lower portion. It goes about a third of the way up the card really. And then I use these Merry Christmas sentiment dies to die cut out some card, which I then heat embossed in gold. I just pressed the die cuts down into my ink pad, sprinkled over some gold embossing powder, and then heated it with my heat tool. I only did one coat because that was all that was needed. So the detail that I want to show you is how I made the Christmas trees. And I've got a piece of smooth white card here, and I'm giving it a dust with talcum powder to remove any moisture, static or oily fingerprints. I'll just huff the excess off. And now I've got a mandala type stencil, which I'm going to put in the middle of my piece of paper here. And I'll hold it down with a little bit of washi because I don't want it shifting around. And I'm going to put a little bit of embossing ink on my mat. This is just glycerin from a little bottle, and I'm going to pick it up with my dedicated embossing ink sponge dauber and carefully sponge it through the stencil using a circular motion, pressing down to make sure I get in all the little dots. And I'll lift that up to see if I've got the whole pattern covered. I need a little bit more down here by the looks of things. That looks fine. A few smudgy places, but that's okay. Now I'm going to sprinkle over this gold embossing powder. This is Cosmic Shimmer Bright Detail Gold, I think. And I use a dry brush just to get rid of any excess. And now I'll heat it with my heat tool. Right, that's all cooled and set and looking lovely. Now I'm going to do some smooshing over the top. I've got Distress Oxides here, Salvage Patina and Peacock Feathers, two shades of the same colour. I'm going to start with a light one. So I'll put that on my glass mat, hydrate it with some water, and pick it up with my smoosher and smush it all over. If you want to know how to make a smoosher, I do have a video linked below with all the instructions. I'm going to dry this with my hairdryer. This doesn't get as hot as a heat tool, so it won't remelt the embossing powder. And now I'm going to smoosh over the peacock feathers. If you want your smooshed colours to mix and mingle and create blends, then don't dry your colours in between. If you want them to stay separate, then dry them before you put the next one on. So I'll dry that again. The ink on the card is dry, but there's a few blobs sitting on top of the embossing. I will just pick those up with some paper towel. And you can also buff off any ink, any dried ink that's on your embossing. Just go over it gently. And I want to make sure that that's bone dry now. So now I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to cut it down into 8, I think, sectors. And I'm going to do that in my trimmer here by lining up the guide wire so that it perfectly bisects the pattern. And now I'm going to do the same thing again in this direction, so that the guide wire down the middle cuts this pattern in half, and then I'm going to do the same thing in this direction. So I've got the point lined up on my guide wire and the guide wire cutting the pattern in half. You don't have to cut things equally into 8 pieces. You could slice through the middle and cut it into different sort of angles if you wanted. And now I'm going to use a variety of methods to cut out the bottom of my Christmas tree shape. This one is fairly straightforward. I'm just going to use my scissors and hopefully get a rough line around there that's similar to the embossing curve. Yep, I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to take this die. It's different to the curve, but that doesn't matter. I just want to give it a nice edge. So I'm going to line up my die so it touches that bit of gold there and that bit of gold there, and then it should be sort of symmetrical. So now my tree has got a nice crisp die cut bottom. There are all sorts of dies you can use. This one has a scalloped edge with some scalloped stitching, and you can line that up there again so it's symmetrical, or not if you prefer. You can always go for something jaunty, so I rather like that. With this one and this one, I've used these smaller border dies. This one's got a smaller scallop, which is quite sweet. This one is just a straight line with some stitching, so that's nice there. You can also use a border punch. I'm just going to mark a straight line across there so I can cut that with my trimmer. And then I'm going to use this Stampin' Up! Scalloped border punch. Try and get that in the middle, punch it in that direction, and then punch off the ends. So another scalloped edge. If you're feeling fancy, you can do some fancy fussy cutting of your own and do some hand scallops, or you can just go for a straightforward straight edge. To neaten up any trimmer or scissor cut edges, you can take an embossing tool like this and run it round to bevel the edges, and that will make it look a little bit more like it's been die cut. So there you go, some Christmas trees with some lovely smooshing and gold heat embossing. So now I've got 4 different colours of Christmas trees, because these were the ones I made in the failed video yesterday. The pink one I made using this stencil and tattered rose with a worn lipstick, Distress Oxides. The green one, I use this lovely heart-based mandala stencil and pine needles and evergreen bough Distress Oxides. For this one, I use scattered straw and squeezed lemonade and this smaller stencil. And what I did with that was, before I sliced it into 8, I actually die cut out a circle from the middle, and I didn't slice that one equally. So I hope you can see there, these are a bit wider, and then this one is a bit narrower, so the angles at the top are slightly different. So you can get a different style tree just by changing the angle that you cut through your circle or what have you with. On top of my Christmas trees, I added some gold stars, and all I did was heat emboss some gold onto a bit of card. I think this is the hammered textured card again. And then I used some little star punches to punch out some stars. So now we're ready to start assembling. I'm going to use tape runner to attach this panel to the front of my card blank. And because I trimmer cut these rather than die cut them, I'm going to run my embossing tool around the edge just to polish them. And this is the little bit of snow that I made. I made it slightly shorter than on here because I wanted to give my Christmas trees a little bit more room at the top. And I'm going to pop this on here, right down the bottom, just get it lined up. It's fairly easy to do. So now I've got my snowy bank. And I think on this one I'm going to use a nice big salvage patina peacock feathers tree. Use a green one in the background. No, I think actually I'm going to go pink. Pink one like that. And then maybe one of the skinnier yellow ones. Something like that. I do want to be able to see a little bit of that scalloped edge from the tree in the background, but I'm thinking these two patterns are very similar, so I want to get a green one, I think. Yeah, I think that works for this card. And I want to put some trunks on my trees, so I'm going to make a little mark where I want my trunks to go. And for my trunks, I'm going to use some brown washi. Place it over that mark I just made. Tuck the end under there. Did I say I'll put 1mm foam tape on the back of that? Can't remember now. So I've got a thick brown wood grain type washi there, and now I've got a thin one. If you haven't got different thicknesses of washi tape, you can always cut them in half or whatever size, using scissors or craft knife. To stick my background tree down, the pink one, I'm going to use white glue. And I'm going to use white glue on the back of the yellow one. I might pop a little bit of card under there just to keep it level. But this one's going to get foam tape. So the trick with this is, I think, to get the bottoms of the trees at different levels and the tips of the trees at different levels, so they're not lined up. That gives you a sense of depth. I've got a little bit of card here just to tuck under the yellow one so that it is level. For my stars, I'm just going to put them on with a bit of white glue. I might put a bit of foam tape under this one here. So now I'm going to stick my sentiment on, and I'm putting a liberal application of tacky white glue on the back, because things do not like sticking to glittery surfaces, I find. So a little bit of extra glue helps. Got a damp baby wipe here just to pick up any glue that might have seeped through. I'll pop my acrylic block on there just to help that stick down for a couple of minutes. So heat embossing the dot for the eye will be really tricky and fiddly. So I'm just going to punch a dot out using this little hole punch, and I'll add a little dab of glue there and pick that up and pop it on. On this card I used a Gold Nouveau drop for the eye, which worked quite well. Slightly different gold, but I don't think you'd notice, but this one works well too. Right, I hope this video is recorded properly because I'm not doing it for a third time. I hope you've enjoyed the video and you like this idea of making Christmas trees with mandala stencils. I wonder which one of these cards you prefer, because this one has got a bigger snowbank and the Christmas trees are higher up. This one, obviously smaller snowbank, and the Christmas trees are further down. I rather like them both, but as I've got lots of Christmas trees to play with, I can batch make some of these and maybe play around a bit more with the placement of things. I hope you've enjoyed this month of heat embossing videos. If you have, maybe you could let me know what your favourite technique is, what you've been trying this month. And if you'd like to see more from me, do subscribe and ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here tomorrow on the 1st of August for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.